One, two, 1, 2, 3.
My name is Yosef Langer. I'm from Oakland, California, through Berkeley. I had come to work in Berkeley with Hinda in 1975, and that was the first year of the Menorah project.
So Yosef was, first of all, he was a great asset to Chabad House to make sure that everything is running well. He was a very welcoming person, warm kind of an individual, and he came from their world. You know, I came from it. I mean, California to me was strange. As much as I got into it and understood it, he grew up there. You know, he was a local boy, an Oakland boy. You know, he was like, it was his territory. So it was very important to have someone like that on staff.
Rabbi Drizzen came up with the concept of the menorah with Zev Putterman, and I lit the torch and had the great schus, the great merit of taking the torch around to the people.
So then we started talking about the possibility of building a menorah to put it in Union Square. Question is, that kind of menorah, how would we build that? So we were brainstorming, but we got stuck at that. The next time we sat down, he says, I got a great idea. So what's the idea? He says, Bill Graham. You know Bill Graham? I said, who's Bill Graham?
Bill Graham to me was a father figure. I think to musicians, to fans, to a lot of people, they look to him, I think, as someone who provided guidance. What should we do? How should we do it? And you listen to him. I think a lot of the musicians in the 60s and 70s and emerging rock and roll scene look to Bill on how should we tour? Where should we play? What venue?
There's sort of this amorphous, the business aspect of the thing was sort of amorphous because these, but before we became sort of more visible on a national level, the professional music scene would really not have taken any notice of the kind of stuff that we were doing. None of us were recorded, we didn't have hits, et cetera, et cetera. But once the ball got rolling, for whatever reason, Bill perceived that there was some sort of a cultural identity that was beginning to grow. I don't mean to put words in his mouth because he's not here to defend himself, but that's kind of what I saw. And after that mime troupe benefit that the Airplane did, which was the first time we met Bill Graham, I think he immediately realized that there was something going on, and he wanted to not only be part of it, he wanted to be driving the bus.
And he used to ask us as bandmates, who did you listen to? Who do you listen to? And we tell him about our blues influences and various people that records that we collected over the years and were influenced by or just plain enjoyed. The jazz influences, the jazz players we like. And you know, sooner rather than later, those blues players he brought out from Chicago and different parts of the United States, and he brought out the jazz players. You had Charles Lloyd there, and you had just so many other players that were current players and players that had been fairly established up to that point. And we'd be on the bill with him. He'd make sure that the audience that came there got an education in music.
Then he said, Bill Graham presents Bob Dylan. Bill Graham presents The Who. Bill Graham presents The Dead. Bill Graham. Then I said, wait a minute. Oh yes, I do remember seeing or any of the artists. So I said, yes, I get now who he is. I said, but is he Jewish? He says, yeah, I think he's got numbers, is what he said.
He was a Holocaust survivor. He was an orphan. You know, I have an adopted kid, so that, you know, I feel a lot of empathy with that.
All I know is that eventually I heard, oh, they're going to do a giant menorah in Union Square. And I thought that was, I mean, if you're going to do Christmas trees, do a menorah, for God's sake. And it seems, it seemed like, speaking as an ACLU member, it seemed like a perfectly appropriate way to celebrate everything and favor none. So that it went up, and I felt good about that as on general principles, and it's been going on, forever now, seemingly.
Just gotta poke around. Used to be the hardest sound.
I might have met him between 75 and 79, but because he used to come down to the menorah lighting. But I remember specifically meeting Bill when Rabbi Yosef left, and I needed the $10,000 that he would often give to support the project and give us the light that we needed to spread the light.
He had a soft spot for Rabbi Langer, though. He liked that menorah. That was something that really hit him in a place. I mean, I don't know how much time Bill spent in temple. I bet not much.
Now, there's one person that all of us owe a great deal of thanks. And he's always hiding behind the scenes somewhere. And I'd like all of us to give a warm, hearty welcome and wish a year of blessing, of mazel and blessing for him and his family and the work that he's doing in order to bring the light of peace and shalom to the Jewish people in the world. A big, hearty welcome to Bill Graham and his family. Bill, where are you? He's back there somewhere. Happy Hanukkah, Bill.
As fans, we sometimes complained about ticket prices, but the reality, looking back on it, was that Bill had our best interests at heart. I think that Rabbi Langer is also creating community, and he has his community's interest at heart as well. Rabbi Langer has the unique role of combining the religious aspect, which I imagine to him is the most important part, combining that with the music community, the artist community, the fans, and any other human being that might be interested in what he's doing or what he has to say.
Just gotta poke around. Oh, you just gotta poke around.
The Rabbi Langer has said a lot of things to me about how he lives his life, but what I've learned from him is mostly by example, about not things he said, but how he lived.
Let's hear it for Jerry's Kosher Deli.